When the Founding Fathers declared, wrongly, that they find self-evident that all people are created equal, they barely knew the nature of the social demon they were conjuring. The establishment of the American nation brought forth a new social paradigm, one freed from the caste-like structure of aristocracy, but oblivious to the downside of the materialist meritocracy it was to become. People could now aspire to be anything they wanted, to have anything they wanted. But so could their kinsmen. It wasn't long before the theoretical ability to be and have what one wanted became an expectation that you did just that. This dynamic must be seen within the overall context of the exponential growth of material comfort and resources, which had by now become the primary measure for success in most people's thinking and lives. Expectations, and therefore pressure to succeed, tied inexorably to one's sense of fulfillment and therefore self-worth and esteem, have conspired to bring about what is a primary cause and manifestation of social anxiety and neurosis in America. This all-encompassing feature of American society declares itself in every aspect of its culture. The logical consequence of success-driven self-esteem and personal worth is the lack of acceptance, even demonization of failure or mediocrity. For all its improvements over aristocracy, meritocracy, which is the prevailing social system evidenced in America, yet has its weaknesses. Meritocracy is not built on objectively calculated standards, but rather on simple comparison with others. Equality of opportunity, such that it can even be said to exist in practical terms, has a dark side. It means you have no excuse other than your own incapacities or lack of will for your failures, or inability to fulfill your desires. Those that make it, those that stand at the pinnacle of the measure of success, are those that not only have made the best of this equality of opportunity, but also, by definition, those that deserve their success and subsequent social status. Again, the natural corollary of this is that those that fail or fall by the wayside equally deserve their circumstances. If winners deserve their fate, then losers must also. If winners make their own luck, so too must it be for losers. Thus the poor or underprivileged in American society slide into self-loathing, assisted by the sense that such a mentality is a just response to circumstance. One of the reasons that America is so able to blithely tolerate the extraordinary juxtaposition of wealth and poverty and homelessness that exists there is that to militate against such social inequity would be to militate against the very ethos of a nation. The poor cannot militate against the indulgences and excesses and injustices of the wealthy, because this would be to militate against their own goals and aspirations, the very source of the sense of esteem and worth they crave. Thus a great many Americans are stuck in a crazed world of impractical and mostly shattered hopes and dreams, of self-loathing, envy, despair, and ultimately of festering hatred for life and fate. Even those dimensions of society that might ordinarily mitigate these dynamics have become a substantial, if perhaps unwitting, part of them. Christianity in America is ostensibly Protestant. Most forms of Protestantism are more worldly in their nature than Catholicism, which has less of a hold on the mind of America. But even Christianity, with its otherworldly ideals and sympathies, has aligned itself with the material values and notions of success of the American ethos. American preachers are symbols of this ethos, sometimes vaingloriously so. God rewards goodness by affording those who accept His grace with a place of significance in the social structure, that is, with wealth and security and social status. Those that acquire such things are automatically deemed beneficiaries of that grace and therefore good persons in themselves. Catholic sympathies are more able to accommodate the idea that a person's social status is not, of itself, a measure of a person's goodness. American Christianity has become an accomplice in the growth of a neurotic nation. American architecture is also an interesting symbol of this mentality. In Europe, one will often see churches and cathedrals towering above the landscape, asserting their significance in the psychology of the people, even if only in their sense of history. In America, such edifices cower amidst the shadows of the grand cathedrals of commerce. The subliminal effect of this on the psyche of a people can't be ignored and should not be underestimated. Secularization has undeniable advantages over societies driven by religious sentiment, but when mixed with the material success ethos that is the American way, it presents its own dark side, that of heightened pressure to succeed and make what one can of oneself in this life, because this life is all there is. Succeed now or be a failure for all of eternity. Americans simply cannot relax. Not only must they succeed, but they must be seen to be succeeding. For not to be is to be a nobody and a failure. It is to be rejected by your own society and your own society's governing ethos. This all adds up to the most notable form of American neurosis, that of status anxiety.